Whenever we talk about what makes a school great, the conversation always, and I mean always, goes to student needs. And for good reason. But what if that's only half the story? Today, we're going to flip that around. We're putting the focus squarely on the people at the very front of the classroom, the teachers. So, what really enables great teaching? Is it the latest fancy tech, the newest curriculum? Sure, that stuff helps, but the real answer? Well, it's way more fundamental than that. It's all about the person standing up there leading the class.
Okay, you've probably seen this pyramid before, right? It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The whole idea is actually pretty simple. You can't really worry about the big stuff, like being creative or finding your purpose, if you're stressed out about the basics, like just feeling safe and secure. But here's the twist. This is where it gets really, really interesting. What happens if we take this classic model and we apply it to teachers? What would their pyramid of needs even look like? So here's the game plan. We're going to build this pyramid for teachers, level by level. We'll start with the foundation, sustaining their energy. Then we'll move up to safety and stability, that feeling of belonging, the need for esteem, and finally, we'll hit the peak, purpose and impact. Let's dive in, starting at the very bottom of the pyramid, sustaining energy. This is the absolute bedrock. For a teacher, this isn't just about food and water. It's about the raw physical and mental fuel you need to make it from the first bell to the last. And this gets right to the heart of why it's so important. Supporting these basic needs isn't some optional extra. It's absolutely essential. It directly translates into a teacher having more patience, more clarity, and more enthusiasm. It literally creates the conditions where kids can thrive. And look, we're not talking about anything complicated here. We're talking about super practical stuff. A schedule that lets you breathe for a second, a short pause between classes, just having access to water or a place to sit down for a minute. These aren't perks, they're essential tools for the job. And the difference this makes is just night and day. When these needs are ignored, you get a rushed, chaotic atmosphere that's a one-way ticket to burnout. But when they're met, the whole dynamic shifts. You get a calm, proactive classroom led by a teacher who has the bandwidth to actually teach. Okay, so once a teacher has the energy to make it through the day, what's next? Well, we climb to the second level, safety and stability. This is all about feeling secure in your professional environment. I mean, think about it. You can't ask a teacher to be innovative and take creative risks if they're constantly looking over their shoulder, right? That sense of trust and stability is the absolute launchpad for any kind of professional growth. And safety here means way more than just a secure building. It means emotional safety, the freedom to try a new lesson and have it fail without being punished. It's about having the psychological safety to ask for help, knowing that expectations are clear and the system is fair. And again, look at where a teacher's energy goes. Without safety, all that precious energy is wasted on worry and self-preservation. But with safety, all that mental bandwidth gets freed up and can be redirected right where it belongs, on the students, on new ideas, and on building an amazing classroom. So with that foundation of energy and the walls of safety built up, we can now move to the real heart of the school experience, the need for belonging. Teaching can feel like a really isolating job, but it doesn't have to be that way. This simple phrase just says it all. Teaching is built on relationships, not just with students, but with colleagues, with parents, with the entire school community. Feeling connected isn't just a social perk, it is a source of serious professional strength. And this sense of belonging, it isn't built overnight. It comes from all the small, consistent things. Sharing an idea in the break room, a colleague checking in after a tough class, celebrating a small win together as a team. It's about weaving this strong web of support one conversation at a time. When teachers feel isolated, that feeling inevitably trickles down. It creates silos and this us versus them mentality. But a teacher who feels connected to their community, they naturally model that same empathy and collaboration, creating a truly inclusive culture for their students. All right, we're climbing higher up the pyramid now. So once a teacher feels connected, the next crucial need is esteem. This is all about feeling truly valued and respected for your skill and for your contribution. And this is so important because esteem is what empowers a teacher to take real ownership of their craft. It's the difference between just following a lesson plan and pouring your unique skill and passion into your work. Now, building esteem isn't about some Teacher of the Year award. It's about consistent, meaningful actions. It's genuine, specific feedback that actually helps someone grow. It's acknowledging the impact they have on students. And maybe most powerfully, it's about leadership showing trust and giving them the professional freedom to do their jobs. Without esteem, teaching can become robotic, routine, driven by a fear of taking any initiative. But when a teacher feels valued, they take pride in their work, they become motivated to improve, to innovate, and to bring their full creativity into the classroom every single day. And now we've made it. We've reached the very peak of the pyramid: purpose and impact. In Maslow's terms, this is self-actualization. This is what happens when all those other foundational needs, energy, safety, belonging, and esteem, are all securely in place. At this level, teaching is no longer just a job. It's not even a career. It becomes a true calling, a core part of who you are and what you're here to do. A teacher at this peak becomes truly transformative. They're not just delivering information, they are constantly growing with their students. They align their daily work with their deepest values. They don't just teach subjects, they inspire curiosity, they model resilience, and they leave an impact that can last a lifetime. So, after building this whole pyramid from the ground up, we're left with this one single powerful question. And it's not just a theoretical exercise, it's a real challenge for all of us. How can we, in our own schools and communities, intentionally build the systems that help every teacher make this climb and reach their full potential?